Hello and welcome back to another Hawkeye Skunk Works holster making video. This is kind of the second video in the series. In the first video we talked about the materials that you might want to use and where you can get those and kind of what the terms mean and what some of the options are available for you. This video is going to go over prepping the gun. To press a holster. So to start with, I have a brand new Glock 19 Gen 4 MOS with this one has a Vortex sight optic on it and a Vortex flashlight, and this gun was cleared before I started working on it. Let you know that. So this sight, even though there's some tape, pretend there's not tape there. You can see the flashlight and the optic. So what you need to do when you're blocking off, getting ready to make the pressing, is you need to make room for all the little bumps and things to be able to be drawn out of the kydex easily, but still have enough definition around them to keep the gun locked in to the holster. So I'm going to flip it around because I've already blocked off the other side. I know I'm going to get some hate on this in the comments, but whatever, I don't care. It works. I've done it I don't know how many dozens of times. They make product that you can buy for blocking off, but my wife is an elementary school teacher, so we have all kinds of popsicle sticks laying around, and I love them. They work fantastic. They're soft, they don't mar up the gun, they are easy to trim, they're cheap. What I use to trim is a set of side cutters. May ruin them over time, but it doesn't matter, at least not to me. So what you want to do is trim them and tape them on to provide room for those things to be drawn out of the holster. Like, for instance, there's a screw right here that is definitely going to catch when the kydex is pressed around it. So I have a stick here, go all the way back. I don't have to go all the way back because once the cut of the holster comes down, that'll be plenty of room for that to clear out of. And I've put another bigger one, it's like a tongue depressor almost, down below to provide a little bit of gap for the button to turn it on and off. And then on the top, you'll see here I've got a dowel rod, which provides a little bit of gap for the sight to slide in and out of. And you can use different sizes depending on the heights of the sights. I've done some suppressor height sights I use a pencil for, which worked excellent. Another really important part that you want to get blocked off is this breech area where the shell is going to be ejected. When the kydex is formed, it's really going to form to that void there in the slide, and it will catch and it will wear on your slide. It's going to chew up the kydex and you'll get all kinds of shavings and stuff. So I always just take a couple layers of my popsicle sticks and fill in that gap. It's okay to have a little bit of void because that adds to the retention, especially on a pistol that has a flashlight, because usually most of your retention is going to come from the trigger housing area. That's what's going to keep the gun planted in the holster, and because we have to kind of cover that to make room for that flashlight to be able to be drawn out of the holster, you're going to lose a little bit of that added retention from that trigger guard. The tape that I use and like to use is 3M blue painter's tape. I'm a 3M fanboy. I paint a lot of cars and things, and 3M tape is the best. It just is. I like the blue because it has good stick to it, especially on a gun that may have some residual oil on it, which you always want to wipe down before you put tape on it, obviously, otherwise it won't stick at all. I don't use any solvents. I just use a paper towel and wipe the vast majority of it off. By the time you're all done, the tape will be fine. It holds up to the heat well in the pressing. It doesn't break down. It still comes off extremely well. You may notice that it's not even a residue. It's almost just a shadow, if you will, of where the tape used to be. It wipes off with a paper towel, and I highly recommend you re-oiling the gun afterwards anyway. So it will leave zero mark at all. So this side is done, except for all I'm going to be doing is I'm going to wrap some tape around the muzzle and around the flashlight. You would be surprised what one layer of tape will get you as far as spacing in the holster. If it's done properly, the kydex will show a mark of one layer of tape. So I usually do a couple layers around the muzzle and flashlights just to provide the fraction of an inch of spacing for minimal wear. Though the kydex is going to flex, obviously, and the gun is going to move a little bit, but it just helps reduce that extra little bit of excess wear on anything. And so by the time this gun is ready to be formed, almost the whole front half of the gun is going to be covered in blue tape. So I will finish the other side, and this gun is going to be pressed, and it's actually going to end up like this, and it is going to be a molly mount, and it is going to be fitted to a battle belt for competition use. Not by me, by a friend. And I will get back on for another video to show the pressing and pulling it out of the press, because that's one of the coolest parts in my opinion, when you open the press and pull this out and you see the kydex, big square kydex that's been formed to the pistol, and it's like a mold almost. So that's pretty neat. One other thing that I highly recommend and demand, if you will, when you are forming a holster for a polymer pistol, put a magazine in it. Have to put a magazine in it. Unloaded, obviously. Because the force that's going to be exerted by this press to form the kydex and the heat from the transfer from the kydex, we're going to be heating this kydex to about 300 degrees. So the heat transfer on this polymer pistol will squeeze this together, and this mag will not want to drop out. Ask me how I know that. It's easily remedied if you do it, but there's no sense in having to fix a problem that you can solve beforehand. So yeah, if you guys have any questions about the process of doing this, and it's going to be trial and error. I've had to do pistols a couple times, or expand them with a heat gun a little bit and add some blocking because they just didn't pull out as well as they should. It is a fine line between good retention and being able to draw a pistol out efficiently without ripping the holster off your belt or yanking your pants all around, things like that. So again, give us a thumbs up on the YouTube channel, and if you haven't noticed, I'm still getting used to making these videos and where to look. So give us a thumbs up, subscribe, head on over to our Facebook page and our Twitter. Check out the links below, and there's going to be more videos to come. The next step in the process of forming this, and we're going to be finishing it all the way through the end, and I'll take you guys along. So thank you.